Hi everybody, welcome back. In today's lesson, we're going to focus on ways we can practice. One of the problems with TOEFL 2026 at this moment, as I'm recording this video, is that a lot of people do not have access to practice materials. Not a lot of practice materials are available at the moment. So for example, if you go to the official website, you go to the TOEFL section, and then there's a menu here called I'm a partner, and if you go to it, there's a teacher section and then preparing students. I'm gonna put the link in the description, and then you click on January 26th, and then you go down. You see there are right now 2 practice tests available, which has been designed for paper, and these are the ones that I have been using in my course. And of course, as we are talking about it, there will be more materials added, but this is going to be very useful for you guys to have an idea where to start. But this is exactly what we are going to use to sort of replicate questions. It's very interesting. So let's say I am going to replicate questions for writing. Writing is really important. I will go to the writing section and I will use one of these sample questions. Let's say, for example, 1 or 2. You can copy paste it, or you can take a picture, you can take a screenshot, and then you submit that to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to replicate this. So can you please, let's be polite with ChatGPT, we never know. Can you please replicate this question for me? This is from TOEFL 2026. The more details you give it, the better. And let's say I will ask it to give me like 20 examples of this. Remember, here you can also give it, because we're practicing, right? You can also ask it to give you based on levels. For example, level A1, A2, B1, B2. But I'm gonna see what happens if I ask just generally. There you go. See? Quite simply, I'm getting a lot of extra practice questions. And yeah. And you can practice with these anytime. You can even, like I told you, if you usually have a lot of mistakes, you can ask ChatGPT to give, for example, give you a little bit lower score. For example, if you're at a level B2 or C1 and you have a lot of mistakes, you can ask ChatGPT to give you some, for example, B1, B2 examples. Once you are really fine and good with them, you can move on and do this part. So we can do exactly the same thing with writing. So go back to the questions. Let's say this is an email task. So I take a screenshot and then I submit it to ChatGPT and I ask him, same here. There you go. See, I'm getting a lot of similar questions, different topics, more extra practices for me. Something I want you guys to remember when you are checking your writings. So let's say you got these tests and you got your writings. You can ask ChatGPT to check it for you, but remember, ChatGPT is not a TOEFL examiner, all right? TOEFL is using a special language learning system, and then they have their own LLMs and other models that they have been training for many years based on human ratings. So it's their proprietary technology, and something they're really proud of, and then makes them very unique. Their TOEFL, of course, they've been doing this for many years. But you can somehow get a similar feedback based on your tests. So you can do 2 things. If you're at a low level, you can just ask for some general information. So you can ask ChatGPT to check your writing. Check my writing and give me some general feedback on accuracy and style. You can do this. ChatGPT will give you some general comments, and then you can focus on ask it to focus on grammar, vocabulary, spelling, things like that. And then you can address those problems one by one. You can reach out to me and then I will tell you how to address them. This is very nice for start. But if your exam is really close or you feel you're more comfortable, you're at a higher level of English, what you can do is you can somehow fit the rubrics to ChatGPT and then get some interesting feedback about your performance. Again, we are not gonna get exact feedback. Remember, don't ask ChatGPT to give you a score because nobody can give you a score. I've been training candidates for many years. People can give you range where you're standing, but we don't know what happens on that day when you are sitting behind your computer or at the center, you're doing the test. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So do not fall for those kind of claims. You're not going to get anything out of that. So don't ask ChatGPT to give you a score because it cannot give you an accurate score. But what you can do, you can feed the rubrics. So let's say, for example, this is the writing rubrics. It gives me some information about how it's tested. You can feed it to ChatGPT, copy paste it, feed it to ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT to give you some feedback based on your performance and against these criteria, how well you have done. Let's try an example. Okay, just to make it a little bit more exciting, I decided to use a different AI. I'm using Perplexy. So I asked Perplexy to kind of read the rubrics and keep them in mind. And now I'm going to share my example writing to get some feedback. So I just paste my essay here and then I am getting a very good score. So you see, I am getting a justification why my score is good and then some more detailed feedback and criteria. This is amazing. This just blows my mind how technology and artificial intelligence is helping everybody prepare for tests. You don't really need heavy textbooks or heavy course materials to be able to sort of get a good feedback. You don't need magic. All you need is AI and some good guidance and instructions by a teacher. And there you go. You're going to be doing great. So as you notice, I did not really add a lot of details to my prompt because I didn't want to make it complicated. I didn't want to dictate a certain prompt because I don't believe it works for everybody. Everybody has a different situation and everybody has different needs. So all of you guys who are watching this video, you're gonna do the same test, but you're gonna get a different score because you have different English levels, you have different English backgrounds, you have different English skills, you have different circumstances around you, and then strength and weaknesses. So I want you to modify that of what you need. For example, if you think your problem is grammar, keep your prompts focused on grammar. If your problem is spelling, if it is style, all the things that are important for TOEFL, make sure that you focus your prompts on those. You don't have to follow the prompts that I shared. These are just very general ones, but this is a very nice place to get started. There you have it, guys. I know a lot of you were worried about where to find more sample questions, but this is the best way for you to produce your own. So you can actually adjust it to different levels based on your needs. For example, you can start from B1, B2, C1. Or you can just ask it to give you some general practice materials because, we all know practice is key. So there are no excuses for you now. Go do your practices, share your questions and your results with me. I'll try to give you more feedback and more information. And we're going to talk about ways you can practice speaking and other skills as well. But thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. This is going to be a great video, so don't forget to share it with people around you and have a great day.